If it feels like other people are making huge, almost random leaps forward while you're stuck taking 2 steps forward, 1 step back, I want to encourage you that these big leaps forward are not random and they're not magic. They can happen with you spending as little as just 2 hours per day on the right things. And in 6 months, you could look back on this very moment and say, that's when everything changed. My name is Lili, and over the last 5 years, I've gone through a few of these big leaps forward in my own life and documented them on this channel. And today, I have a multi-million-dollar real estate portfolio as well as a 6-figure online business. Not because I worked harder, but because I figured out how to get into a flow state by focusing on the right things and creating true momentum and progress in a short amount of time. So if you're willing to lock in on what I'm about to share, it'll take just 2 hours per day to put this system into your own life. And if you want my support while you're doing it, there's a link in the top comment to my 5-day self-funded freedom challenge. This challenge is designed to help you reach financial freedom by building a business of your own. We meet from noon to 1 p.m. CST each day for 5 days. And if you get a VIP ticket, you'll also get access to a private Q&A session with me each day before the challenge begins. And you can sign up using the link in the top comment. All right, let's get into this 3-part system. Part 1 is to face the gap for 1 hour per day. All of us have a gap between where we are and where we want to be. That's likely why you clicked on this video, to help you bridge that gap. If you didn't, you'd be completely content with where you are in life. And if that's the case, that's totally fine. But chances are there's more that you want to achieve, either because it would benefit you and your family in some way, or because you just feel like you're destined to do more than what you're doing right now. I still feel like there's a big gap between where I am and where I want to go. And it can be a great thing because sometimes it can motivate us, but there is a dark side to this gap because it can cause discomfort or discontentment. It's literally the opposite of being content with where we are. And this discontent can be causing us to do one of 2 things that keep us stuck when instead we would like to be doing a third. First, we might distract ourselves from the fact that this gap even exists. Oftentimes social media, going out partying, or even over resting because we feel like we're working so hard in another area of our life. But that work isn't what actually closes this gap. This is why that 5-day challenge is called the self-funded challenge, because in order to move through the gap towards financial freedom or whatever other type of success we're pursuing, we have to use our own time, energy, and resources to fund it ourselves. It's not just gonna happen with the path that we're currently on. If nothing changes, nothing changes. And I'm not trying to say that resting, self-care, or hobbies aren't important, but as much as we can, we want to differentiate between those distraction hobbies and healthy hobbies. The healthy ones will leave us rejuvenated with more gas in our tanks afterwards. The unhealthy ones will zap our energy and make it harder to get out of that rut. I know this because I feel horrible after a 2-hour scroll session on social media, but I feel great after a 2-hour Rubik's Cube session. So we want to avoid the distraction, but the other thing that the discomfort of the gap can do, which at first seems a lot healthier, but isn't, is to cause us to over-consume. And the crazy thing is, it's oftentimes over-consuming information about how to move through the gap. I'm so guilty of this. When I first got interested in financial freedom, I was playing for the Harlem Globetrotters, and I made an agreement with myself that I wouldn't listen to music when I was flying or driving from city to city every couple of days. Instead, I would use that time to listen to audiobooks or podcasts, and while I'm not as strict with this anymore, I do still consume a lot of information. But at a certain point, I can't implement everything that I'm taking in. I have to act on it, or none of it would actually move me closer to the other side of that gap. And this video could be the same thing for you. If you only watch it, it just lives in your head as ideas. It won't help you move through the gap. But if you can take each of these 3 stages and spend 2 hours per day implementing them, that's where the transfer of information that came from my life through my brain into your brain and then into your life actually happens. And that's why step 1 is to just spend an hour per day looking this gap in the face and saying, I will deal with the discomfort of not being where I want to be yet. And there's 2 ways that you can do this. First, you can block off time for deep work. I would say 45 minutes per minimum, but I try to do 3 hours per day of deep work where you just have one core task that you're working on, no task switching, no multitasking, no emails, no busy work, and no distractions from your phone or social media. The first few minutes might feel uncomfortable, but it takes a second for your brain to switch into that mode, and then time flies by if you limit those distractions. Now, if you're not sure what the core thing is for you that you should be working on, it's likely the thing on your to-do list that you keep ignoring, but you don't take it off of your to-do list because you know it's important. It might be scripting your next YouTube video, sending outreach emails to potential clients, or something like that. I use a software called Rise to track all of my work and tell me how much deep work I'm getting in. And there's a link in the top comment where you can get a 7-day free trial, try it out for yourself, track what you're doing. The second thing you'll do to face the gap is pursue something difficult that you're not already good at and is outside of work. Because the ability to move through discomfort without giving up is a muscle. And contrary to popular belief, you can build that muscle very, very fast. Sometimes in a moment, but definitely within a few days. Like I mentioned before, I played for the Harlem Globetrotters, but I started playing basketball when I was just 3 years old. So I played my entire life. But there was one moment, one workout when I was in my freshman year at Stanford, where I took a huge leap forward and built the muscle of dealing with discomfort. It was a stationary bike workout, and they split the 15 players on the team into 3 smaller teams. And we had to take turns pedaling as fast as we could on the stationary bike until we got 10 miles as a team. So one player would hop on, go as fast as she could until her legs literally couldn't keep that level of intensity up anymore. She would jump off the bike, the next person would go on, and each team was competing to get to 10 miles as quickly as possible. It hurt so bad, but in my head, I knew, for one, that I didn't want to be the person biking for the least amount of time and then being like, oh, I can't go any further, right? I wanted to do my part to get the team to that 10 miles first. And I just knew that if I could push through this horrendous workout, things would change for me. I would know myself to be a different person afterwards. And I was. I went from being like a pretty hard worker to having a certain level of confidence in my ability to push through difficulty that unlocked a lot of success and confidence for me, both on the court and off the court. And I don't physically work that hard anymore, but I try to build this muscle up through playing pickleball, trying to get as good as I can. And I recently started a mission to learn how to solve a Rubik's Cube in under 30 seconds. Now, while sports, Rubik's Cubing, and business might all seem very different, they all depend on that same muscle of being at the start of a gap and having a deep focus and commitment to work through it anyway. So whether you face the gap for an entire hour of deep work on some days and then you do your discomfort training on others, or you work a bit of both into each day, 60 days per minimum is where you start. And once you've built that discomfort muscle, the next layer is to open a value loop for 30 minutes per day. Every business asks its customers to do one thing, to trade some of their assets, time, money, attention, in exchange for a value that the business promises. Problem is, people do not let go of their assets easily, nor should they, and you have to be constantly improving your value to the marketplace because your value is always decreasing. There's more competition coming in. If you're not keeping up with the latest advancements in your industry, then you are falling behind. And if you are asking people to make this trade with you, but you are not the type of person that is also trading your assets for value, then there's a fundamental disconnect that you just will not be able to break through. In the same way that you are hoping to get more assets from the outside world, it can only happen if you are taking your assets and investing them so that you can increase your value, which will then make people want to give you their assets, which become your assets that you can continue in this ongoing cycle. But if you are not making this trade, then your value is decreasing and people will not give you your assets, and there will be a barrier in what flows to you. And this can be really subconscious, because if you don't feel like you've invested in yourself enough to raise your value to the marketplace, it can seep into everything that you do. The most common way it happens is with the pricing in your business. Most people set their prices way too low, which communicates to someone that they can give a low amount of their assets in exchange for a low amount of your value. We might think we're communicating, hey, come get a great deal, a lot of value for a little bit of money, but really it's like we're trying to sell discounted sushi at the end of the day at a gas station rather than selling a high-priced plate of sushi from a restaurant by the sea. The more we invest in making ourselves and what we have to offer valuable, the more willingly people will be to invest their assets to receive that value. It's just a cycle that we can't shortcut. So spend 30 minutes per day trading some combination of your time, money, and energy on making yourself a more valuable person, and other people will be much more likely to invest in you to receive that value. And the third step is to turn that value into leverage to help you take a big leap really quickly. And you do that by capturing your personal IP or intellectual property. And this can only happen when you're creating more than you're consuming. That 30 minutes per day of creating is what completes the 2-hour process. And I don't mean posting on social media, although it's really powerful and it has been a huge benefit to my business. But there's a step between creating and posting that most people don't talk about. And that's building out your personal IP, because that IP is the fuel behind your journey through the gap. Your personal IP is your beliefs, principles, methods of getting things done. And it's the fuel behind your journey through the gap. But for most of us, it only exists up here in our head. Like when you feel a cold coming on, maybe you have a special remedy and tea that helps you nip it in the bud quickly. Or you might have a certain way to motivate yourself when you're having a particularly rough day, or maybe in your business. You may know how to handle a client that you think is about to cancel their services with you, but you do this one special thing that gets them reinvigorated and back on track. There's probably dozens, if not hundreds or thousands of things that make up your personal IP. And as you open up that value loop and invest in yourself, those are things that are going into your brain to potentially become personal IP. But the only way that happens is if you get it out of your head and into the real world. For me, creating these YouTube videos, sharing them with you, and then helping people on their own financial freedom journeys is how my personal IP enters the world. But again, you don't even need to post it online. Even if you just write it in a personal journal or in a personal document of all the things that you believe and do to make your life successful, it isn't about posting the content. It's about documenting what you're learning, thinking, and doing for yourself. This process right here of getting it out of your head creates more room for all the value that you're putting into your head. And the more well-oiled you keep this machine, the more motivated you'll be, the more creative you'll be, and the more valuable your personal IP comes, because you're the type of person who takes in value, uses it to build themselves up, and then puts it back out into the world. And that's what moves your life drastically forward very, very quickly. 2 hours per day is totally doable, but over 6 months, it adds up to 364 hours. And that much focused time can change everything. I can help you put the system into place inside that self-funded freedom challenge. The link is in the top comment. And once you sign up, this video will also be linked in the top comment. Watch it next because it'll help you design exactly what your new financially free life can look like.